Hey, this is MassX with another One Punch Man the Strongest video. And let's get another video out before this game goes EOS. But if you didn't know, about a week ago, give or take when this video drops, Deerling didn't beat me, but took the top spot from somebody else. I can't remember if Josh or Druid, I don't know which one. Interchangeable at this point, but were able to beat me, and I don't know if they let Deerling in. Probably, if not, maybe Deerling won. I don't know, but took the top spot. And after all this time, even when MK initially came out, I was able to still beat the Atomic Samurai with my prior team. But with the keepsake coming out, that just made it too difficult. And if you don't understand why, it's because, quite honestly, we don't have solid DPSs right now in the game due to what MK does. We were mostly self-reliant on the corrosion, and that just doesn't play well with AS+. So I was like, oh, clearly they spent some money because the account suddenly got better. So I don't know if the person running that account did, or a benefactor, let's say, that doesn't really care about throwing money away. Because even though you guys might not think, I am a cheapskate when it comes to mobile games. That's why I have a YouTube channel. A lot of times in sponsorships, I get paid with gift cards. I totally manipulate and use legally how your discounts with BlueStacks, your Google Play points, and I take full advantage of that stuff through the yin yang, because quite honestly, these are not hard assets that have any sort of true value in the end. But I digress now. Whatever the case is, I haven't had the temperament for this game, as I've already said. It's kind of hard to be motivated when a game is basically going to be EOS and nothing has changed anything about that. So I took my time. I went and said, well, I'm gonna look at this at some testing. So what you have to know is you gotta have a single target DPS for tanks. That's just how it is, and in particular for AS. So I started, and I wanted to really bring out, I was really praying my original favorite DPS of all time, Garou SSR Plus, would be able to do it. Got close, but was not able to finish the job. So after that, with of course, championships coming up and all that, I was like, well, I gotta focus on that. Well, I kind of didn't. Waited till Sunday, until the last minute. Built up my TTM so I could make at least my team tankier, which didn't matter in the end, quite honestly, because we're in a meta where chance and RNG is king. And I've talked about this before many times, why I hate this stuff, because quite honestly, in a meta like this, you put some speed, build up your characters, and pray you get the right stuns and you could win. So it doesn't take a strategical genius in those circumstances. But I digress again, because I'm tired and it's late, and I meant to do this video sooner, but I never got around to changing up the team, yada yada yada. So anyway, so we're playing our round today. It's not going great. So I was going to revert back my TTM. Then I was like, well, if I decide to go ahead and get Super Ally, that'd be stupid. So I was like, well, I've got a ton of resources, because I completely gutted a bunch of characters and said, well, Garou didn't work. He's already stripped back. You already have these resources. Let's see about Atomic Samurai. So quite honestly, I was even lazier than I normally am, and just put Zombie Man stuff on him, and that was enough. Now, I have adjusted that since, so now my Atomic Samurai is clocking in really nicely, but just gonna leave him in because honestly, I'm lazy and I do not want to go back. And quite honestly, what's the point not to at this juncture in the game. So I figured, what the hell. So I would do a video, because at least Deerling needs to get the kudos for holding it for a week. My laziness or not, still, you were able to get your AS high enough to be able to stay alive. The problem is, of course, is it feeds off of the corrosion to really help with its healing. So I saw that with Garou, just not strong enough because he's just too outdated. But because you get that reduction with Atomic Samurai, it offsets that. So, and you really don't even need your atomic to be that overpowering, as long as you have somebody else focused single target. And ironically, PPP is actually can be incredibly strong single target. You just have to go all in on it. So I went ahead, took the push from my Metal Knight, put it on PPP, gave a little bit more love to Atomic Samurai after the win, and now it's they're pretty equal across the board now. So yeah, it was able to do it. I wouldn't come out here and say you got to invest in Atomic Samurai. This is purely for nothing more than just arena, nothing more at all. You don't need to, and quite honestly, if this game wasn't going to go belly up, most likely, you know, the wise move is just to be playing your attack with URs coming. Not that TT is going to be the be-all end-all. A lot of people would pull for it normally because it's the first UR that we should be seeing. But quite honestly, the better characters come after that, and then things get really interesting. And then, of course, you know, there will be plenty of DPSs to wreak havoc against characters, and MK will phase out. So yeah, that's it. So congrats. Sorry I didn't let it go longer. You know, hey, there's nothing that somebody can't beat it again. I'm not going to change it up. So I'm too lazy to do that. So it does have a lot of glaring weaknesses using AS, not as a tank. But I just won't do that. I won't tank my AS, because then you just have you don't have enough offensive power. To be able to get the wins, you've got to have two solid DPSs, and quite honestly, in this meta, they need to be single hit or row attackers. AoE is just not going to do it enough right now, at least at this moment. So sadly, Zombie Man had to be sidelined for now, even though Zombie Man was doing stellar DPS for me. It was clocking in second. But again, it is what it is. So with that, as always, please like and subscribe. Pray that this game stays going, and we'll talk to you soon.